as the second half is now underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. From the gun, it's Carr. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him. Find him.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10.
I hope a dude with no legs whoop your ass one day.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll be back shortly.
Able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's second and 10. Play action. Now Taylor. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Third and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. He rifles one that's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
24 is the mic. What we got? What we got? What we got?
They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground.
Motion man, watch 12, watch 12. Single, slot.
From the gun on third down, it's Taylor. Steps away to his left. Taylor hit. He lost the football. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Step around 80. 190. I got one.
Throwing on second and 14. Rivers. And caught by Henry. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. On third down, Rivers. He completes it to Henry. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of it.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Cleveland Farrell and the Raider D, they get the football back. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So it's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. Well, the Raiders last year, they were 25th in the league in rushing, and a good reason why they used one of their 3 first-round picks on Jacobs for runs like we just saw. Jacobs was the first running back taken in this year's draft, 24th overall. That was actually the pick that was originally acquired from the Chicago Bears in that Khalil Mack trade. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
185. Got three down. Check 4. Later 8. Check play ball. Hey, watch edge. He's coming. Double up. Topper.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Carr. It's complete to Williams. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Melvin Ingram, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Go.
From the gun, Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The Charger drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on. To the next one.
The 27-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, orbit.
Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Third and long for Rivers. And that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here's Ty Long now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Monday, down. 180. You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me.
On first down, Jacobs. Desmond King making the tackle. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Hey, we're good, we're good. 185. 280.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
49, check 49.
On third down, Richard. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches, be honest, don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Rivers now, the throw on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Black 15. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Rivers, he leaves to Eckler on the draw. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Black 11.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
And I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation, because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the foot.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And he is all the way up past the 25. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
7:34. Let's go, defenses. Get on the field. Defense.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they